But main event of SmackDown 620 is going to be R-Truth versus John Cena. And everything that I have seen basically says that it's going to be a non-title match. Um, I don't really understand that. I didn't know that Saturday night's main event was a non-title match until the match was over. I really believe that R-Truth was getting a title shot for R-Truth, who I love R-Truth. R-Truth gets named to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. You're not going to see a video from me complaining about all these guys that got left out. I get it. I understand. The guy was there in the late 90s, the early 2000s. He left. He made a big name for himself in TNA. He came back. I want to say he made his return in like 2010. It's 2025. This guy survived, all those years where, we saw the ups, we saw the downs, the capital punishment pay-per-views where, he was supposed to be the biggest heel in the company, but in the long run, I think he was just a stopgap, which I hope plays in to Friday. CM Punk challenging John Cena at the Money in the Bank show. If you go back and you remember the Monday Night Raw of the pipe bomb where CM Punk got the microphone and really used it for the first time the way that he did in his days before coming to WWE. It was R-Truth versus John Cena. I believe it was like a tables match. Maybe it was just a normal match, and CM Punk helped R-Truth throw John Cena through a table, and the match ended in disqualification. But Cena was laying there in the ring, and Punk grabbed the microphone and said that this was only going to take a minute. He hoped that John Cena was comfortable so that he could listen to what he had to say. And then he ran Cena up and down, and then he ran the WWE up and down. It was almost like him trying to get his last thoughts off, because in storyline, he was leaving WWE. Of course, then the whole storyline was like Vince McMahon trying to re-sign Punk because all of a sudden he realized how big of a star he was because of one episode of Raw. It's funny because they did a double taping that night in Las Vegas at the UNLV Thomas Mack Center. They had to storyline suspend CM Punk from being at Raw the next week, even though he was just in the locker room. It's not like they grabbed his bags and they threw him out the back door and said, "See ya, Punk." Which, honestly, if it comes down to it, if they would have realized how big that would have blown up, they should have used Punk on that next Raw. But they write those shows so far in advance, especially with it being a double taping. Hopefully Raw wasn't 3 hours at the time, but I don't know. But I would love to see it. The CM Punk promos for this John Cena match, I think he's trying to walk up in the batter's box and just knock a grand slam to win it. Punk delivers good promos almost all the time, but these ones just honestly haven't reached to the TV and grab me. So the reason why they're doing this match is to set up something with Punk. I would love it. I think it would just make this SmackDown even bigger if you add CM Punk to the mix. They haven't really released the graphics on Twitter saying who's going to be there and who's not going to be there. So I am looking forward to seeing Punk to be is going to be. But this R-Truth versus Cena match, do you really want to see R-Truth out there hitting all of his moves against John? Do you want to see John just bury him yet just once again, which doesn't really make a lot of sense? I think if you would have kept Truth and Cena separate, but had the kind of delivering promo lines back and forth, you could have built R-Truth up to the point where he could have been a United States champion, an Intercontinental champion, where people would have believed it. But now you're bringing something in, you're making it seem like it's a big deal. You got Triple H on the press conference basically saying that this was all a work, it's all a part of the show. But you put Truth in a situation against John Cena, You could have like a 2002 moment, like with The Rock and the Hurricane right before WrestleMania 19, and you could have Punk involved in this match, making sure that Cena lost to embarrass him in a non-title match to R-Truth. But how does that really help R-Truth in the long run? I guess if what I talked about earlier with Cena and some sort of like a six-pack challenge at Survivor Series, where you stack the deck against them, you could have something where you've got, Sammy, Orton, Cody, Uso. You've got R-Truth in there going after Cena, and that's kind of like a Cena moment of like, how is he going to do it? How is he going to overcome this one? But this just seems like mindless filler that I kind of related to Triple H versus CM Punk at Night of Champions 2011, when the match was supposed to be Kevin Nash against Punk, and then they made it seem like those guys couldn't work together. And then all of a sudden on the Go Home Raw, they just have Triple H pull Nash into a room and said that this match isn't going to happen, that he's going to replace him. And Punk got huge. Punk got really huge. But as huge as he got, that was with WWE putting the chokehold on him. And, Triple H beating him at Night of Champions really didn't make any sense. So I don't see this match going any other way than the last match that we had at Saturday night's main event. And I don't think this time Cena is going to, take it easy on Truth. I think he's going to knock him with the belt, honestly, as soon as he can. It's going to be night. And Cena's going to get the win here. Cena has to worry about Night of Champions, which is on the 28th. Only 8 days later, Punk versus Cena over there in Saudi Arabia. So Cena's going to get the win on SmackDown. And I think, honestly, that's about the only way that could happen.